All right, so I wanted to do a quick video talking about bits and bridles here for a second. This is Sirocco, and Sirocco was not my horse originally. She belonged to my sister. And so she was trained differently, a little bit differently than I would train horses. And my sister hardly ever rode her in a bit because because she puts her tongue over top of the bit most of the time. So this is a smooth snaffle. I'm gonna offer it to her here. There, see how she opened her mouth nicely? I didn't whack her teeth. And this is adjusted for will. So we'll adjust that quick. It's perfect. Now let's see if she has her tongue over the bit. She's had a minute to have it in her mouth. Stand here for a minute, girl. So let's see. Yep. All right. So she definitely. I don't know if you can see. Let's move you over here. She definitely has the bit over her mouth. All right, Rocco, cooperate. Over her tongue. See how her tongue is over this bit? So with Sirocco, this tells me that she doesn't really care for this bit a whole lot. Move you back over here for a second. But I go to if I go to flex her with it or do some stuff with her, she's still gonna respond to it, but that's pulling right on the bottom of her jaw. Now, if this was bothering her mouth, the smooth snaffle, she would not be acting this calm. People who say that a smooth snaffle bit and that the snaffle bit is one of the harshest bits. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're thinking, but um like I can take this and bump and see how she doesn't really like bump bump bump. See how she's not whacking, like throwing her head way up in the air. This is the first time I have flexed her this spring too. I haven't pulled on a bit on her mouth in a very, see how she's trying to vertically flex here for me. We'll go ahead and vertically flex her here. And also when I go to ask her to vertically flex, look at this. She's not throwing, this is not causing her any amount of discomfort. She's playing with that bit because she doesn't like how it's broken in the middle. But see, I could ride her in this pretty easy. Let's see if I can get her to back up a little. Yeah, not bad at all, girl. Now let's see if she's got her. We'll let her adjust a little bit here. Good horse. Okay, let me see. Still has her tongue over the bit. So now let's go to my other bridle here. Okay, she much prefers this bit over that other one. So when you go to take the bit out of the mouth, don't let it whack them in the teeth. Let her spit it out. See how she'll spit it out? There, good horse. All right, so let's get rid of the smooth snaffle. And as you can see, this bit, this is a shank, but this is a straight shank. And we'll see how she likes this one. Put your head down a little bit. Thank you. Sometimes, usually I have to hold my horse's heads up more than picking them up. Now see, she grabbed the bit there. I didn't even put my finger in her mouth. I was just holding the bit there to see if she would accept it. There we go. And notice how immediately I go to make sure that it's not pinching her. There, good. All right, get this. It's in her mouth now. Notice how she hasn't hardly played with this one yet. There, she's playing with a little bit. All right, I'm gonna bring you around and we'll see where she has her mouth on this one. All right. So Rocco, look at that. It's over top of her tongue. Very good, horse. There. And this bit for a shank bit, I like just like one wrinkle in the back of her mouth, just like that. See that? All right. And once again, the bit's over her tongue. So what that tells me is, okay, now she's playing with it. Hopefully she didn't put her tongue over it. Just check the frame again. No, we don't need to be this close, Rocco. Okay. All right. One more step. There. Okay. Whatever. We'll leave you there. All right, let's do a couple flexes with this. See, same thing. She's pretty soft. She's playing with this one a little bit here. There we go. I have not ridden her this spring yet. It's on my list of things to do. See, she's playing with that bit a little bit. Let's check again. Bit is still over top of her tongue, so that tells me that she is very comfortable in this bit. See how she's look, barely having to do this. Now, if I bump on her here a little bit, let's see if I can bump. See, she's responsive enough and knows that she's not supposed to throw her head up in the air. But notice she's, pretty much just say, maybe a little bit more comfortable in this, but obviously because she's leaving her tongue over it, or tongue underneath it anyway. Let's see what she's got again. Just check for good measure. Yeah, still over the top. So, it's less, selecting a bit is less of, oh, what's really harsh and what's not. Now let's forget that because that's super subjective. The horse will tell you what they want to be in. Now, I like to start in a smooth snaffle because that's easier to talk to separate sides. Whenever I pull up on this rein, see how the whole bit moves? The whole bit is moving. So that is super confusing for the young horse. So you definitely want a bit that's broken in the middle with a young horse so you can talk to each side separately and you can better communicate with them. I really like using slobber straps on my bridle because if you see, when I go to pick up on this, see how I don't even have all the weight off the rein and it's already moving the strap. So that's why I always ride my young horses in one of these bits. And horses, Sirocco, I probably wouldn't ride her in this hardly at all unless she got really, really leany on this bit. Just because she's so much more comfortable in this bit. And I've been told this is a harsh bit. I don't know. The bit's only as harsh as the hands that are holding it. So that's my 2 cents. This is Sirocco. Sirocco is 20. She's, both my horses are geriatrics right now, but she's very ranch bred and older genetics. I've been listening to people talking about horse genetics lately, and I hardly have any idea what any of them are because I know her. She's Zanpar bred mostly, so she's older bloodlines. So yeah, she's a good girl. So anyway, that's my two bits on bits today.